Hello everybody. We are back in the kitchen today and we are making my grandmother's pineapple Easter pie. I don't know if there's really any name for it, so I just call it pineapple pie at this point. On her recipe, I use my grandmother's recipe card. I don't know if you can see that, but that's my grandma's recipe in her handwriting. And she wrote strawberry spring pan pie, which is interesting because it's made with pineapples. She would sometimes garnish it with strawberries, but I don't do that. But I always found it interesting what she wrote. So this is my grandmother's pineapple pie. She often made this for Easter and she would make it for my birthdays because I absolutely loved it. So here's our ingredients for our pie. So ladyfingers in a spring form. You're gonna need 2 bars of cream cheese. So we actually use 1 full, which is softening in here. And then we use another 3 ounces. So if you're not sure what the 3 ounces is, we got 1, 2, 3. I just cut it right there. So 3 ounces of cream cheese in addition to the 1 full. The pineapple tidbits, the big jar, so this one is 20 ounces. And I had mentioned to you guys in the past that I had actually got that at the Dollar Tree. So I did run out to the Dollar Tree this morning and was able to get some of the ingredients I need. And then we also need 1 quart of heavy cream. They didn't have a quart, so I've got 2 pints. And my KitchenAid mixing bowl I just have in the refrigerator because that's we're gonna use that for here. And I like to mix, I like to whip in a cold bowl all the time. So let's just get started. We're going to, bear with me here a little bit, guys. We're going to get started on our cream cheese mixture. So the first thing that we're gonna do, I've got our softened cream cheese. So we're gonna put the additional 3 ounces there in a bowl, sorry. And we are going to beat that up, okay? So we're just gonna take our beater. You could do it both with your KitchenAid, but I only have 1 big bowl and I don't like to have to wash in between. So we're just gonna mix this up, get this creamy. Getting nice and creamy in here. And then we're just gonna add in 2/3 of a cup of sugar and some vanilla. So let's grab the sugar. What do you guys generally like to make for Easter? Do you have a specific recipe in mind? This is kind of a fan favorite in my family. We need 2/3 of a cup of sugar, everybody. So 1/3, 2/3. This is, my kids like this, my nieces like this, so this is usually like the most requested. And I don't know, with the pineapple, that was 2/3 cup of sugar. I just find it really springy, I guess. I don't measure vanilla because vanilla is like my favorite. So it's 1.5 teaspoons, and I will link this down below, but I just kind of pour it in. I am not the best baker because I don't measure ingredients. So, and this, you don't have to bake this pie. This is a no bake. So now we're just gonna mix that together. So today is Saturday, and we're doing this today because you do want this to sit, and the longer it sits and sets up, the better it's gonna be. So let's just get this all incorporated in here. All right, so this is looking good. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so now that that is all nice and creamy and mixed, it looks like this. we are going to get our heavy cream beaten. So this is gonna take a little bit of time, so you really do wanna go slow with it. Like I said, I would get it into a cold mixing bowl. If you have a KitchenAid, great, but I do like to put it in the refrigerator. If not, your hand mixer will work just fine. Your arm's just gonna get a little tired, but that's fine. You'll be okay. You can do it by hand. It's gonna come out just fine. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer. So we are gonna get this in here. We're gonna use our whisk attachment on our KitchenAid, and we're gonna start it slowly because it will splatter. So lock that up, and we're just gonna start it on slow, and I'll get the cover for that. Okay, and you wanna take it slow to begin, and then I kind of work my way up a little bit. So we want this to get to the point where it's almost peaking, okay? And I will show you what almost peaking is in case you're not 100% sure, okay? Okay, we're still waiting for this, so I'll just give you, we're just taking it slow with that right there. So in the meantime, I am getting my pineapples ready. So I need to drain my pineapples. So if you see, I have already a whole cup of pineapple juice because I've drained them. However, when I drained my pineapple, I realized I bought pineapple tidbits instead of crushed pineapple. So the recipe does call for crushed. No worries, we're just gonna take our little handy dandy crusher and we are going to crush up our pineapples. This is gonna cause some more juice, so we will have to probably drain this again. Doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to get a nice consistency in there, okay? Now, if there's still some extra pineapple juice, you can go ahead and just drain that off. Try and get as much juice out of there as you can, because it will break down the heavy cream, and you want to try to avoid that. So there you go, we've got a ton of juice now, and we can have a drink. Add some rum, and we will be ready to go. So we're gonna come back over here, and we're gonna check on we're almost there, friends. We're almost there. So I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. And I'm gonna have you guys watch with me as we get to that perfectly peak. So you can see it kind of getting hard, and that's what we want. Let's just turn it off and check on it. Okay, so I get mine a little harder because it does break down. Now that it's kind of hardened up a little bit, we can turn it up, and you can definitely see how it's getting thicker in there. Okay, so we're gonna stop it right here. And now we're going to add in I'm just trying to get you guys into a spot where you can kind of watch the process here. So we are now going to add in our cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla mixture. And then we're gonna mix that in even more. So that's why you want to get it to an almost peak and not like quite a hard, because we are going to go back in and we're going to continue to mix. Okay, so make sure you get all of that nice sweet cream cheese, vanilla, sugar mix in there. Add it back down. Again, start off nice and slow so that we can incorporate everything. You can see it getting all yummy and delicious in there. And now we are actually going to bring this to a nice fluffy peak at this point. So let's get that all set and done. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. We're gonna get ready to stop this in just a minute. And I just wanted to bring you over to our pan. So I already have 2 packages in here of ladyfingers, and as you can see, we still have a little hole over here and we have to fill it in. So we're just gonna do that right now. We're gonna fill these in, and this is why the recipe calls for 3 packages of ladyfingers. Everybody's springform pans are a little different, and actually this is my smaller one. I seem to have misplaced my others. Sometimes when things go to family members' houses, you know, they don't always come back. And I had a nice purple one for Easter, and that is gone. I don't know what I did with that one. So here we have our pan. If there's some holes in the bottom, it's okay. It's really gonna be fine. So we kind of have our pan ready to go, and now our mixture is ready to go. So we're gonna take our mixture off of here. Get this all set. I'll let you guys see what it looks like, just in case you're new to peeking and you're not 100% sure, but you can kind of see it's very stiff, so it's like a nice solid whipped cream. And then we're gonna take our pineapple. I'm gonna use a slotted spoon because I had to crush it. It's still a little wet, and you want to avoid as much of that juice getting in there as possible. I know my grandma was always really pushing the fact that you didn't want to have that extra because it breaks down the whipped cream. Did anybody else cook with their grandparents on a regular basis? My whole family are a bunch of chefs, cooks, bakers, and as children, my cousins and I always cooked with my grandmother and with our great-grandparents. So my cousins and I, my female cousins and I, would always have to go to my great-grandparents' house on the weekends. If we were sleeping at my grandma's, we would walk over to my great-grandparents on Saturday or Sunday, and they would have us actually prepare them a meal. Setting the table, prepare the whole thing, serve it to them, and then my great-grandpa would tell us, he was a chef his whole life, he would tell us everything that we did wrong. And this is when we were young, like 10, 11, 12, 13. This is, you know, as children. So luckily, many of my cousins and I were exposed to cooking when we were younger. So we were very blessed, because I know not everyone has that skill, and it's not something that's easy to learn. And if you weren't exposed to it, I know a lot of people just dislike it. So here is our mixture. It looks awesome. And it really is that simple. You're just going to cream your cream cheese, add in your sugar and your vanilla. You're going to whip up your heavy cream. You're gonna whip the two together, and then you're just gonna slowly fold in. Make sure you fold in, don't mix your pineapple. Fold in your pineapple, and then you're just gonna bring the mixture over here to your prepared ladyfinger springform pan. It looks so good. And I will actually save a little bit of the mixture. This is one of my son's favorite little treats, and he loves ladyfingers, so I'll save him a little bit, kind of as like a little dessert dip. And that really is how simple Grandma's pineapple pie is, everybody. And I did get the pineapple at the Dollar Tree. I think that was the only thing with this particular recipe, and that was what reminded me and had sparked some interest for this particular recipe, was I had purchased the pineapple at the Dollar Tree when I was there. But this is our finished product, and I mean, doesn't it just look beautiful? So we're going to put this into the refrigerator. The longer it goes in, the better. So mine will be in there for almost 2 full days. And then when you're ready to serve, you're just gonna unlock. My grandmother used to take it, and when she was ready to serve it, she would unlock it. She would garnish it with some berries, and then she would tie a pretty little Easter ribbon around the whole thing to make it kind of look like it was a little Easter present there. So there you have it, everybody. There's Grandma's pineapple pie that a lot of you were asking for. So I will definitely put the full recipe in the description below. And I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday. And if you make Grandma's Easter pie, please let me know. That's Grandma Dot's pineapple. Well, it's Grandma Dot's strawberry spring pan pie, but no strawberries. Gotta love Grandma. So if anybody decides to make that recipe, please let me know. Let me know what your favorite Easter dessert is as well. Everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you real soon.